Okay, so this is part 2. You've got your black marks, your rectangles filling up the entire sheet. Actually, you may have wanted to cut the sheet in half so that you're not dragging a huge piece of fabric around your house. It's okay to use smaller pieces to do this, but try to be smart about that, because depending upon where you cut that piece of fabric to make it smaller, you could be losing a number of masks that you could have made. So since this is 7 by 9 inches, you want to cut it at either a multiple of 7 or a multiple of 9 in order to maximize what you can get out of one piece of fabric. All right, but anyway, here's the part 2 that after this is all filled up with your black rectangles. Now I'm going to take the little template, okay? And I'm going to put my little template, get a close-up of this, Richard. I'm going to put my little template on top of one of the squares, so I haven't cut anything yet. And you don't have to measure this exactly. I'm kind of eyeballing it to show that there's more or less 1/4 of an inch all the way around here. And even if it's a little bit off, that's okay. You're eyeballing that it's pretty much equal, the margin all around here. And then I'm taking a different color Sharpie. And I'm going to trace the smaller one very lightly. Don't let your Sharpie linger because it'll bleed and make a big splotch. Just very lightly, you make a square, or a rectangle rather, inside of a rectangle. And this is what it looks like. Get a good close-up of this. So now you keep going and going and going until you've got that done through the whole sheet, and your whole sheet will be filled up with 7 by 9s in black, and then a little bit smaller inside in red. This really helps me later on when I get to the sewing machine. It saves me a lot of work. Then what you're going to do is it's time to cut. Very important, do not do this if you do not have a good scissors for cutting, because it's impossible. It will be torture. You need a good scissors for cutting fabric. And then all you're going to do is, here's the important part, cut along the black line. Say it again, cut along the black line. Make it a mantra, because you might make a goof and cut along the red line, and then you've wasted a mask. Can't use that. So we're simply going to, and Richard, you got a good close look on this? I'm cutting along the black line. Now right here, there's a tiny little fraction in between them. It doesn't matter, because the most important thing is that I'm going to be sewing along the red line. So if you're a tiny little bit off on the black line, that's not that critical. The red line, we want to be as accurate as possible, but the most accurate has to be a nice, even red line template for my sewing. But you can see I'm trying to be pretty careful going along this black line, and then so on and so forth, all 4 edges. This one didn't yet have its red line, but I would have done all the red lines inside the black lines first, and then I cut them all around the black lines only. Then you'll have a nice stack of 7 by 9s. These are a little smaller, don't get confused. You're gonna go 7 by 9 rectangles, and they will have a red line on the inside, which tells me where to sew. When that's all done, you're gonna take a stack, however many you get out of your sheets, and you're going to put them in an envelope to me, put a note on top that says, reminder, 7 by 9. And you can, if you're still gonna do this, if you're gonna keep working on other sheets, save your big and little templates to keep going. And if you're not gonna keep going, you can send these back to me, because maybe it took me a little while to make these. Maybe I can send them off to someone else to help me with also. I am in a good place with my fabric for the next week or 10 days. So this is not a rush. Take your time. You don't have to send me off sheet number 1. You can wait until you've completed as much as you want to do for the next week or 2. Okay, thank you.